War rocks are not as bad as you think. Hello, this is Tim from Team Yu-Gi-Oh! Proxy. Today I'm bringing y'all War Rocks. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit that notification button so that way we can keep this channel up and running. We're definitely trying some things with some rogue strategies, some strategies that people haven't tried yet. Today I'm bringing y'all War Rocks. Definitely a strategy that's not being used right now. I think from all the decks I've seen online, people try to fit War Rocks in with today's meta, and that's not how these cards are made. They're made basically like an old school strategy. So you can't really depend on a lot of things that you would normally depend on for this strategy to work. The cards are very unique. If you read the effects, I'm sure a lot of y'all have, and they're written off mainly as garbage. But I think taking the time, this deck is a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun playing it, and it is very competitive. I think that everybody needs to take the strategy and mold it however they choose to, of course, to make it your own. But for me, this strategy fit best. So if you would definitely like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so I can bring y'all more content. And today, right now, I'm bringing you War Rocks.
I think that the big problem with War Rocks is that people believe that it is a garbage deck. And yeah, it's not tier 1. It's not. I mean, I'm not even going to try to pretend it is. But it is a very viable deck that can be used today. All right, so first we got 3 War Rock Fortias. What this card does here is that whenever an Earth Warrior monster battles, after damage calculation, you can add any War Rock card from your deck to your hand. Any War Rock card in general. So no matter what War Rock card you decide to play, it can add it to your hand. And that's if any Earth Warrior monster battles. Now, when you add it from your deck to your hand, all your War Rock monsters increase their attack by 200. Now, at first when I read these cards, 200 doesn't seem like much, but after playing with the deck, I can tell you that when you have enough of these effects stacking on top of each other, that they build up to quite a lot. And that increase lasts until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's not something that just goes away very quickly. Also, another thing about Fortia is that whenever it's destroyed by an opponent's card effect, it allows you to special summon a level 5 or higher War Rock from your deck to your side of the field. Now, I know that that may not seem like very much, but when I go through the deck a little bit more, you'll understand why that can be not as bad as it may seem. But anywho, this is the kickstart of the deck, Fortia, so you definitely want to run 3 of her. All right, next, I got 3 War Rock Winto. So Winto, what it does, you pay 800 life points, and then during damage calculation, your battling monster gains 800 attack until the end phase, and the end of this turn. So it increases their attack. Basically, if you can't get over something or beat it up, that's what she's really good for. I thought the first time I saw this card that it was pretty trash, and I didn't understand, well, why would I want to run this? And I started running it at 1. But after using it a lot, I just found that a lot of the other War Rock support cards aren't really great for the style that I'm playing this deck as. So for me, I thought this card would be perfect to run at 3. And if it's destroyed by a card effect, it does the exact same thing as Fortia. It allows you to special summon a level 5 or higher War Rock from your deck to your side of the field. I'm not sure if I said higher on Fortia, but it's higher for all of these little guys right here. So I run 3 of her, and I want 1 War Rock Basileos. I believe that's how you say it. I'm terrible with names. Anywho, 8 stars, 2700 attack, 2700 defense, which, funny enough, they all have the same attack and defense. Unfortunately, none of the Gizmecs, only one of the Gizmecs work with them. The 6-star that special summons and then adds the equal attack, equal defense from deck to your hand. I'm not running it, but I thought that would have been something a little bit cool if they would have made it to where those Gizmecs can run with these as well. But no, what this one does, I'll sum it up very quickly. It special summons from your grave to your side of the field when one of your War Rock monsters is destroyed. So whenever it's gone, you special summon it by battle, special summon it from the grave to your side of the field, and whenever you get special summoned that way, it gets banished after it leaves the field. But whenever it gets during the battle phase, when an Earth Warrior monster battles, you can make it to where Basileos attacks directly, and it increases all the War Rocks monsters' attack by 200. So yeah, it's all right. I don't think it's good as some of the other ones, but you definitely need to run at least one. So that's what I do. I run one Basileos, and then the last of my War Rock monsters, 2 of the Meteoragon. All right, this card right here, I'm sure gets a lot of hate because they made it a secret rare in the new set. And why would you make a secret rare in the new set of a card that most people aren't seeking? But that's because this deck is not really understood, like I said. So, War of Meteoragon can be destroyed by card effects. Okay, 7-star, 2600 attack, 2600 defense, and when its attack is declared with an opponent's monster, so that's whether it attacks or it gets attacked, you can negate the opponent's monster effects during the turn, as well as activate effects on the field or monsters with the same original name. So, really clever effect. Also, quick effect, you can make all War Rock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. And this card gets to attack twice. So, it's not a humongous beat stick, but when you power it up with the other War Rock monsters, the attack will increase, and you will be very surprised how often that does happen. But it cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is also really good. So once you see the rest of the deck, you understand what makes this card even stronger than what it seems. But it is really good for the deck. I say run 2. And yes, that is all the War Rock monsters I do run for the deck. I don't run a whole lot of them. This deck, the way I have the style played, see, we're in a meta, well, we're in an era of Yu-Gi-Oh where people rely on the extra deck a lot. And this deck, how I made it, I don't rely on the extra deck whatsoever. Not even a little bit, not even a just in case, because you need all of these monsters' effects to happen. So I'm not even relying on the extra deck in any small part whatsoever for this deck to function. Well, let's go ahead and go into the hand traps. Running 2 Ghost Bells. I mean, everybody knows what Ghost Bell is. It's awesome, it's amazing. We're gonna go with 3 Ash Blossoms. You know, Ash Blossom can't be replaced, it's a staple. Run 3 of those. And I run 3 Nibiru in this deck. Now, Nibiru is a card I was kind of on the fence with. I've ran through a lot of different other hand traps, trying to decide what exactly I want to play. And with this deck, it doesn't really flood the field. It's not an OTK deck whatsoever. It needs this. The problem this deck has is that it doesn't provide enough destruction for my opponent's monsters on their field. And Nibiru is the only line of defense I think that can improve the standing that I have with my deck, at the same time disrupt my opponent's strategy. And so 3 is what I run in the deck. I like it at 3. It's been running really well with it. So I've played against a lot of top tier decks. So I mean, I think the way I have it, the way it is now, I want to keep it this way. But if you don't like 3 Nibiru, you know, change it up, try it out however you see fit. But 3 Nibiru for me. And that is all of the hand traps. Yes, that is not a very big monster lineup whatsoever. It does not need the monsters, they recur themselves, and you have easeability of getting these cards to your hand or to the field, so it does not require a lot. Any more than what you have here, it's going to flood your hand full of monsters. You do not need more than what it shows. If you feel like you're running a problem, change it however you want to, if you want to try this strategy. But let's go into the spells. 3 War Rock Mountain, 1 Terraforming. What this card does, it allows you to add any War Rock monster from your deck to your hand, which is already good. Now keep in mind, you can only activate 1 of these per turn. So if it's gone, you can't activate another one immediately after. Whenever any of your War Rock monsters get destroyed by battle, you can send this from your field zone to the graveyard to make it to where it can't be destroyed by that battle. So it's already pretty cool, considering that your other War Rock monsters, if they're destroyed by effects, then they special summon from the deck. It allows them to stay on the field and allows you to keep on coming with these War Rocks. Also, another thing is at the start of the battle phase, you can special summon any War Rock monster in your hand to the field, as long as you only control, well, it has to be one with a different name, of course, and all monsters you control are warrior monsters or War Rocks, but they're all warriors, but yeah. So at the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can special summon this from your hand, and essentially they can't get over it because it can't be destroyed by card effects and it can't be destroyed by battle. And depending on what instance you want to have, you can use any of the other ones. And yes, it does. It special summons any of them on either battle phase. So it allows you to keep field presence, which is the basis of why I made this deck more of a control style as opposed to a Floodgate OTK, which is the wrong appeal for this deck because it does not have that kind of power. And because I do not care about extra deck, I run 3 Extravagance. It's basically pot of greed for the deck because I don't have to play, I don't play, what you call it, extra deck monsters. So it works out perfectly for me. Lightning Storm. This was gonna seem a little bit weird when you see the trap lineup, but it doesn't have enough destruction in the deck, and there are plenty of times where you can easily have an open field that I've ran into. I didn't think it would really happen based on the cards I have in the deck, but it happened more than I thought. So then I decided to put Lightning Storm in here at 3, and it's worked out pretty good for me. I don't run triple tack, but if that's something you would want to consider, that is something to consider. There's just not a whole lot of cards, I think, that really continues the strategy of the deck while building your resources at the same time. The problem with triple tack is if you play it, you can't play Extravagance during that turn. And I don't know about y'all, but I mainly go for greed whenever I use triple tack. But anyway, 3 Lightning Storm is good. Monster Reborn, it's not a large monster lineup, and you kind of need monsters on the board. So 1 Monster Reborn. Yep, is what it is. Going into the traps now. 3 Unexpected Die. This card came up a lot more than I thought it would, and it's a lot better than I thought it would. I actually started this card at 1 in the deck because I didn't think it was good enough, and it definitely pulls its weight, and very surprisingly pulls its weight. So I run 3, and it worked out pretty well for me. If you don't like it, I say just test it out and try it out first. Make sure you don't like it. Don't just think you're not gonna like it. Try it out and see first. Summon limit, run 3. I don't do a lot of special summoning in this deck, so I'm not hurt by this card at all. I'm also not hurt by Nibiru, and I think that this is really good for oppressing your opponent. Most decks nowadays flood the field. They're old school type cards. These cards here, these War Rocks, they're not built like other cards that have been made where they're heavy, impactful, full of special summoning to increase big boards, to flood the gate to a OTK style. It doesn't do that. So the best thing to do if you're making a War Rock strategy, I say, is play off its strengths. And that's exactly what I'm going for here. And I think 3 summon limit is really good to help this deck compete with other decks. 3 solemn judgment. You know what it does. Solemn judgment is what it is. Definitely keeps your presence on the field. Definitely keeps your opponent at bay. And solemn strike. I think this is probably the card of the format. I mean, strike is so versatile. I think it just keeps building in strength from last format to this format. I think more people are going to have this at 3 the further we get into this format, but I like this card a lot, 3 solemn strikes. And as for the extra deck, you don't need to worry about one. I just take any 15 cards. While I am being serious, I'm also kind of being jokey at the same time. You don't want to tempt yourself into link summoning or Xyz summoning with this deck, because you're going to lose foothold of what the strategy is by doing that. So what you want to do is you want to use this deck to keep your opponent at bay, to build up boards. Limit their options, build your board. Limit their options, build your board. And so I think that that's what I've accomplished with this deck. So I say, if you go with whatever cards you choose for extra deck, choose cards that won't tempt you into going away from what the strategy is. Now, I know that seems counterintuitive for today's Yu-Gi-Oh, and I understand that. I've been playing the game a long time, so it's maybe it's a little old school, but I think that it's important that you stick to the strength of what a deck can do. And don't try to just squeeze in something just because it's cool or other people play it or because it's working for other strategies. The strategy, the way I have this built, it does not work for this strategy. And it's done me well so far. I've enjoyed it a whole lot. I've enjoyed having fun playing with it. Definitely an original idea and definitely something that people are not running. So if you're interested in playing War Rocks at all, I ask, go ahead and give my build a try and definitely see if you like it. Well, that's all I got for y'all today. So like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for your time, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.